few places left on Earth that can boast that their people are still largely connected to their surroundings and living off the land. But here in Papua New Guinea, most of the people live outside the cities. This is a country of wild lands, natural beauty and tribal people whose connection to the spirit gods results in incredible rituals being undertaken. But this country also represents a tribal lifestyle that is being lost. With the loss of tribal life comes the loss of wildlife and its habitat. So come on a journey with me through Papua New Guinea and this incredible land and see why this lifestyle is just far too good to lose. My name's Lynn Sutherland. I'm an adventurer and an environmentalist. I travel the world in my quest to understand the impacts we are having on our planet. My journey takes me deep into the habitat of endangered animals, where people are working hard to preserve the biodiversity of our planet. We need to understand how our ecosystems work and join the race against time to preserve the valuable life on our planet. Papua New Guinea is geographically stunning, shaped over millions of years by volcanic activity, weathering and erosion, which has forced up big mountains and carved out deep valleys, which are home to some of the world's most biodiverse rainforests. These rainforests are home to some of the rarest and most exotic species on our planet. And the reason many of these rainforests still exist today is because these mountainous regions of Papua New Guinea can be at times virtually inaccessible. In Papua New Guinea, I get transformed into a mud woman. Feast with the tribes in a traditional muumuu. Walk among the birds of paradise. Find myself amongst warriors. Learn about secret Japanese World War II tunnels and seek to better understand sustainable lifestyles. Geologically, Papua New Guinea is a young country, situated on the Pacific Ring of Fire, composed of over 600 islands. The main island, New Guinea, is the second largest island in the world. A number of active volcanoes still rumble and smoke, reminding one of the power of Mother Nature as she continues to shape the country's fertile landscape. A spine of mountains known as the Highlands runs the length of New Guinea Island, mostly covered in rainforest. This mountainous terrain has made it difficult for the country to develop, protecting culture and habitat, and until recently has hidden tribes from each other and the rest of the world. This isolation has resulted in many diverse cultures to flourish. To learn the depth of the culture in Papua New Guinea, my adventure starts with visiting an idyllic coastal province. This is beautiful Madang. Now, 400,000 people live in Madang province, but only 30,000 people live in the town of Madang and in the surrounding area. The rest of the people live in beautiful places like this. Now, this is in the northern section on the mainland of Papua New Guinea, and it is one of the most culturally diverse areas. With over 800 languages spoken in this country, over a third of those dialects are spoken here in Madang province. It is estimated that more than 7,000 different cultural groups exist in Papua New Guinea. Many different styles of cultural expression have emerged, each group creating forms of art, dance, costumes, singing, weaponry, music, and architecture. Modern life is proving a challenge for many of these communities to continue their unique traditions. In Madang, there is a mix of highland and coastal lifestyle. Madang's scattered islands make an idyllic backdrop, and nothing is more enjoyable than the smiles of local children. For coastal people, canoes and boats are a valuable asset for transport and fishing. But it is the abundance of the marine environment that provides them with their major source of protein, fish. One of the things I like most about Papua New Guinea is all these gorgeous little idyllic islands that you pass also have surrounding fringing reef, and that means they can make really good dive sites. Now, we've stopped at this deserted little island, and this is called Barracuda Point, so let's see who we can find here. But look, it's just like paradise. Barracuda Point is a classic fringing reef surrounding an island. It's fantastic to be able to dive and enjoy pristine reefs, seeing the amazing marine life, while offering a revenue for local business. But it is the locals that rely on plentiful oceans for their daily needs to feed their families. Humans must not underestimate the value of sustaining the ocean's ecosystems properly. Modern fishing techniques literally take the food out of local mouths and decimate marine environments. Recently in Madang, destructive fishing methods have moved in. Unmanaged, this could destroy the sustainable lifestyles of Papua New Guinea. To learn more about village lifestyles, I travelled to the province of KVN. These are the gorgeous little village kids. Now, this is Lusuk village, and we've come to Lusuk to have a look at the traditional lifestyle and, of course, meet the beautiful people that live here. But sago for the Papua New Guineans is one of the most important things that they could possibly work with. They make beautiful houses, and it's also a food. So we've come to see how they make their houses, how they cook their food, and of course, a bit of hospitality. What is the significance of sago to your people?
It's very important in our local communities, especially in the East Coast Karanalik. It's also our staple food. We use it as a sort of a roofing iron, traditional roofing iron. There is boys putting up the sago leaves onto our house, a new house. And at the same time, there is blind weaving. They use the stem of the sago leaves, the actual stem that holds the leaves together. That is what is used to weave the blind, which is in the back.
So these guys here, they're putting the roof onto a hut that they've built.
Yeah.
And the ladies behind it?
Walling, the walling.
So basically what? The sides of the houses you call blinds?
Blinds.
Blind weaving.
Blind weaving.
Yeah.
That particular style of walling is called a blind.
And then you eat it as well?
Yeah, we eat it as well.
So we're going to have a look over here and see how the boys are making the roofs with the sago palm leaf. Ah, you're making a house?
Yes.
Yes? Making a house. Whose house are you making? Nobody's. Me? For me? You make house for me?
My house.
Oh, your house.
Yes.
Like you used to bake, you buy from the shop. This is our local flour.
It's your local flour.
So it's also our staple food. People tend to have sago when they're tired of eating rice or cow or taro. They love their sago with fish in cream, coconut cream. That's the main staple food.
I might not eat it like this, hey?
No.
It needs a bit of preparation.
Yes.
So, but this is how they're storing it.
Yes.
So these are the containers that they use to store it.
Banana palm. That's the leaves are used to show up the.
Oh, so they're storing the sago in
Yes.
pandanus palm leaves.
Yes.
Wow. And so they'll fill this right to the top?
Yes.
Yeah? Can I help? Or is my hand too dirty? How much would this feed? Is this something that would last a family a week?
If they just have sago all through, it might be a day or two.
Right.
depending on the size of the family.
You know, I'd much prefer to see wrapping in the natural leaves.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have any plastics that go into
No,
the ocean.
no.
It's fantastic. So what is she tying it up with? Is that,
That's a traditional rope as well.
yeah? See, they get everything from everywhere. This is what they're tying
Yes.
the pandanus
The
leaf up
pandanus
with.
leaf with.
Yeah. This one here.
Yeah, those are the leaves that are being used to.
So in their backyard, they basically have their containers,
Yeah.
they have their tie to tie it up, and the good news is when they actually finish eating, and they've got these beautiful plates and they've got these beautiful containers that are all made out of natural products, they can just throw it on the ground because you know what? It disintegrates and it goes back into the earth.
Yes.
I like your lifestyle. Me come stay in your village for a while.
Yes.
You can go live in big concrete horrible jungle.
Big concrete.
We're going to have a look at some mumu preparation. Now, mumu is a traditional cooking.
Yes, it's
Yeah?
a traditional way of preparing food. And what we're going to see here is cow and taro and some pumpkin in banana leaves with coconut cream.
Ooh, that sounds really yummy.
Here you can see the actual mumu being prepared. There's a few leaves here with some of those vegetables that I've mentioned earlier on. They're nice and hot for the wrapping that's just there to be put into the hot oven, and then it's left for a few hours. This afternoon they can take it out for their dinner.
With so many of the people still living off the land here in Papua New Guinea, it's so important that their surroundings are protected. They have everything they need. At their front door, they can go fishing. At their back door, they grow their vegetables and the palms they need to make their houses. But there is a risk. All this could disappear. Tribal fighting was a part of life in Papua New Guinea. Religion, trading, and Western influences had slowly been infringing in previous times. But it was World War II and Japan's need to infiltrate the South Pacific that brought the outside world to Papua New Guinea's doorstep. East New Britain is one of the most popular provinces for tourism. Here, the people are very friendly and have a rich and diverse culture to share. During World War II, East New Britain was the scene of bitter fighting, and many war relics are scattered throughout the region. On January 23, 1942, Japanese forces attacked and invaded Rabaul. It was because of its strategic location, but this marked the beginning of World War II in Papua New Guinea and the South Pacific. Over the next few years, the Japanese built over 580 kilometres of these underground tunnels, which they used as storage facilities for things like these barges. But it was also a great hideout that they could use when the Allied forces bombed the area. Well, after they told me that there were 500 kilometres or over 500 kilometres of tunnels here in Rabaul, I really wanted to see what they meant. But have a look at this. This is amazing. This may just look like a small entrance, but have a look what's inside. Oh my God! It's no wonder it was so hard to battle the Japanese here in Papua New Guinea, especially here in Rabaul, when you see the extensive chambers that they literally dug out beneath the earth. You could be walking past that jungle, and if they'd camouflaged the entrance, you wouldn't know that this exists. But this place was actually an underground hospital where they probably brought their wounded so they could heal them and then put them back out in the jungle. But as I walk around here, there are chambers going everywhere. There are steps going up to different levels. This is like a little underground city. We've got these holes in the wall, and this is where they would have put their lanterns so they could light the way. But, I mean, this rock is quite soft, but you can still see all the pickaxe marks of all the hard manual labour that would have been done in this area by all the workers. And just watch your head because it does get a little bit narrow, but I can stand up so you can see how big they are. Oh, wow. Is that the main entrance?
Yeah, that's the main entrance.
So they were the small tunnels. This place is like a palace. Check this out. Open air. But it must have been really hard work. The locals worked so hard to build these tunnels, often very badly fed and very hard work. Rabaul became Japanese major military base in Papua New Guinea. But the Japanese eyes were on gaining control of Port Moresby, with one of the most famous battles fought across the Owen Ranges and the Kokoda Trail. Thousands of Australian and Allied troops died, as did civilians. Over 3,000 are buried in the Bamana War Cemetery in Port Moresby, with other major cemeteries in Rabaul and Lae. When the war finally ended in September 1945, Rabaul and East New Britain were littered with the reminders of what had happened. Planes, bombs, ships and guns could be found in jungles, on remote beaches, and even still today, you can dive and see them deep beneath the sea. Just 40 minutes boat ride from the town of Kokopo, we've come to the Duke of York Islands, and here we've heard about 2 Japanese tanks that have been left in 5 metres of water after World War II. I'm sitting right here from the surface and I can see them just there. So I'm going to jump in the water and take a look. Although it must have been a dark era during the war, today underwater wrecks can be explored beneath the sea in many locations throughout Papua New Guinea. After seeing how the war had such a large effect on the local people, I was keen to see how the wildlife is faring. Now, like so many places around the world, many of Papua New Guinea's amazing exotic species are now endangered or vulnerable, and we're going to get a close-up look at the Mount Hagen eagle. So this is where he is? Yeah. Oh, isn't he beautiful? Hello. So it's safe to go in?
Yep.
Yeah? Let him go in first. Oh, he's beautiful. They've got really hooked beaks. You can see the big talons that they use to catch their prey. Oh, and the eyes. Eagle eyes are some of the sharpest eyes in nature. They can see a kilometre away a small mouse moving in the bushes or in the trees or in the vegetation. Now, most people are familiar with the famous bush kangaroos in Australia that hop on the ground, but here in Papua New Guinea, they have a very different type of kangaroo. They have a tree kangaroo, and these guys, like the little one behind me, love to live in trees. But like so many species that rely on forest and rainforest habitats, these guys are now vulnerable and endangered. Some of the species here are virtually lost forever. It was time to explore crucial wildlife habitat in the highlands of Mount Hagen. These scenic mountains have been created by geological activity. The peaks disappeared into the gathering clouds, which in turn nourished the land with nature's drink, clean, fresh water. I was thirsty, so I asked Simon for a drink of water. So he stopped the car, and here we are. Just down here, Simon?
Yes. It's fresh water from the mountain. It's very, very cold. It's just like you're taking water right out from the spring. Wow, that's beautiful.
There is a local saying here, you never buy water, as the water flows free from the mountain. I spotted the Mount Hagen eagle soaring above in the sky before landing at a vantage point with friends where it could keep a vigil lookout. This area is a refuge for exotic birds, none more beautiful than the one I was hoping to see. Well, it's the full moon and dawn is just about to break, and I am nearly at 3,000 metres very high in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. Now, I have come here in search of the exotic bird of paradise, one of the most stunning birds you will find anywhere else in the world. I can hear the birds calling. I'm not sure which bird it is, but there's magical calls going on here. And they say at dawn, this is when birds become most active, and they often do their displaying. And the birds of paradise have some of the most beautiful displays anywhere in the world, rituals and feathers that go up. But you've got to be extremely lucky and spend a lot of time to be able to see that. Simon, these are stunning forests. You grew up here, did you?
Yes, I grew up here. This is my village, and I'm happy to bring you guys here. There's a lot of bird of paradise species in this forest. As we go through, you'll have to take some pictures and also look at the bird of paradise. And
is that one there?
that's one.
Yeah.
That's one of the species.
Because even this morning I heard so many different calls of different birds. One that sounded like...
They call this machine gun bird of paradise. Like, it's a local name, but...
Not too many places in the world that I could stand literally in one spot and see at least 3 bird of paradise species and a number other of bird species just coming down right in front of you. Have a look at some of these birds. There's one with a big, long blue tail, which is just magnificent. There's some with bright green all over their throats, and then others with bright orange right down their chests. These birds are just so unique and so colourful. And some of them, not that we've seen it when they display, just do the most incredible dancing rituals you'll ever see. But this is one very special spot. These are the ancient rainforests. These are the really old-growth rainforests. These are the most valuable rainforests in our world. They take millions and millions of years to get to what we're seeing right now. And it's just so nice to see habitat like this still standing, and it is home to so many different species, not just the birds, but tree kangaroos and so many other species that rely on these rainforests for survival. So to clear a habitat like this, you literally wipe out so much biodiversity on our planet. It was time to hit the road again. This time, I would look back into history and learn for myself just how long these people have been living off the land. Cook Agricultural Site covers 116 hectares of swampland that has been systematically cultivated possibly up to 10,000 years ago. According to archaeologists who have excavated this area, it is the earliest evidence for the domestication of plants like bananas, taro and yam in Oceania. Cook was declared a World Heritage Site in 2008. The locals proudly showed us ancient stone tools and digging spades, all amazing pieces of history. So this is an ancient sharpening stone where they actually used this stone to sharpen their knives. So you can see these guys were pretty advanced because a lot of the other countries were just hunters and gatherers, and these guys were actually looking after their gardens. But that is why these guys are so good at gardening, and that's why we love our feasts. Whenever we get a PNG feast, it tastes really, really, really good, and they really know how to grow their veggies.
A lot of stuff in this place here. The spears, the digging stick, the spades, and all this. So all of them came about at the same time.
And with this, what did they used to do?
Do like this, dig like this, and then they put on top of the ground, and then they put they plant some food, like banana and all these things, vegetables, all these things.
Yeah.
Why is this spade so significant? And when they trace back with the carbon dating, it was 10,000 years old.
And it was like 10,000, yeah.
And it was like, wow, 10,000 and this thing is still there.
And the skulls that are in here, the ones that we've got at the back here, are they from that site as well?
No, these skulls are basically, in the olden days, what they do, they don't bury the dead when they get very old. They put them out, dry them, and then they burn them so they get the skulls. This practice was done in the olden days.
Right. And it's very important for your people to keep bones, isn't it, of ancestors?
Yes, it's a kind of significant thing that they have to keep it so that it reminds them of their past and their ancestors.
A lot of the villagers here don't come here. It's actually a site that's sacred site. So a lot of these people don't even know the story of their history and their ancestry. As you can see, nothing much has changed in 10,000 years, and they are still carrying on their tradition.
Yeah, you go everywhere in Papua New Guinea, you see a lot of people doing gardening, so it's pretty much the lifestyle of average Papua New Guineans.
Which is a lot different to modern society these days, because we go to the supermarket, but you still have your traditional lifestyle of all the gardens.
You see a lot of roadside markets, you see big markets, they sell a lot of fresh produce, so we don't really depend on white man stuff like food in the supermarkets.
So it was time to hit the local market to see what these gardeners and craftsmen have to offer. I am at the Mount Hagen markets. Now, this market is the biggest market in the whole of Papua New Guinea. They even supply the coastal areas and big cities like Lae and Port Moresby. But it's because of the rich mountainous soils that they can grow all this wonderful fresh produce, all these great fruit and veggies. So these are dried mushrooms, and they
They dry them on the sun.
dry them in the sun. Yeah.
Dry them in the sun, and then it becomes hard.
Yeah.
And then you can use it for cooking food, cuisine, soda special,
Whenever you want.
Whenever you want.
And you store it like this, so it's easy to get off. Pretty cool. Now this little piggy went to market. Here's 100 kina. 100 kina. But they measure their wealth by piggies, so if this little piggy grows to be a big piggy, it'll be worth $1,000 when they're really, really big. Hello, little piggy. So cute. Now look at the size of this. This is a giant taro. Now that is fertile soil. My beautiful friends, thank you. The peanut ladies. It's not all about the fruit and veggies. You can get just about everything you need at this market. As modern society infiltrates Papua New Guinea, this will cut into the production of local products and the ability for sustaining this lifestyle, resulting in dramatic loss of culture, something Papua New Guinea abounds in. We were invited to a Mount Hagen cultural event in the Paye village, and I enjoyed watching them ready themselves for festivities. You're getting ready for battle, huh? You can see here that all the headdress look magnificent, but you might notice a little bit of a resemblance. There's some beautiful looking parrots and some birds of paradise that make up these costumes. What we're about to see is a welcoming custom dance by this village. Now this Sing Sing, which they call it here in Papua New Guinea, that they're about to do basically represents a celebration or a feast or a welcoming. And we are a special occasion. As you can see, the guys are beautifully dressed. They've got their incredible headrests on, they've got their costume dance on, and one of the guys stays out in front because he's the leader. He's the one that sort of leads the group into song and dance. So watch this, it's pretty amazing. Village life is quite sensational. When you look at the work involved with how they express themselves and the art and the craft and the creation of their performance, it sort of makes some of our lifestyle in society and in cities pretty mundane, because these guys really know how to put on a performance. But what I think I like most about this whole thing is everybody comes together. So it's a big occasion, it's like a big celebration, and the village pulls together to come to celebrate. And so many times in Western society, we go home, we have 4 big walls around us and we lock ourselves away from the rest of the community. But this is true community living, where they share getting their food, they share preparing their food, and they also share their celebrations. So what have we got here?
This is the traditional shield used for tribal fighting up in the highlands. So every clan, every tribe has his own design, own shield.
So basically when the other tribe are coming for you, that's your protection.
Like this.
Yeah.
You see in movies?
Yeah.
Like this. And then they hold the arrow and they go like something like that.
They go forward.
Yeah, they go
like
forward.
in the movies. Are they heavy?
Yeah, no, they're pretty light.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good actually. Now, are you sure that if a big spear comes at you, this is going to stop it?
It cannot come through.
Cannot come through. It's like hitting a tree.
But this is old. That's why it's light.
Right.
But there's some that are very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot.
So all these other ones we've got here,
These are all the seals. Yeah.
different tribes, or are they
No,
just
this is for this Paya
all
tribe.
for this tribe, for the
yeah.
Paya tribe?
The mark that they put on the seal, basically to identify that this seal belongs to that person.
Okay.
Something like this. So that's where they have to put the mark. Sometimes they write the initials or name on it.
Don't want to get the wrong one.
Don't want to get it wrong.
Awesome. I don't exactly know what's happening, but it looks like another tribe's come into the area and they look quite aggressive. So we're going to start moving back here. I don't think I'm in the middle of this. I think it's the 2 tribes, but I'm not sure what's going to unfold because, look, here's another tribe. Tribal fights in the past have been how these people protected their lands and beliefs. What was a little fun for us to see shows us how these people are warriors. And with so many different cultures, it would be hard to always see things the same. But these guys are really going for it. Look at this. Whoa! I'm not sure which tribe is actually winning. And I'm not sure exactly what the battle's about, but it really can get ferocious in the middle of the action here. So this is Papua New Guinea culture alive and well. Now, if I get in the middle of that, I might just not make it out, so I really don't want to get too close. Olden days, these guys would have used real spears and real weapons. Now this is, as you can tell, just a mock fight, but this shows you what tribal warfare is all about. It can be very aggressive. Battles and discrepancies are taken out on the battlefield like this. It could be someone's been hurt from a neighbouring village. It could be someone stole someone's pig. It could be anything that starts these tribal fights. But today, these guys are upset, they're angry, and they're showing us what it would have been like. Kicked in. Now, who won? These guys are so out of breath. So am I chasing after them. Did you win?
Yes.
Victory! The victors! Woo! Oh, yeah! Woo! Yeah! To see more highland culture, we headed further east across the Highland Highway. This is the stunning Eastern Highlands province, one of the wild mountainous regions of Papua New Guinea. Goroka is the capital of the Eastern Highlands. It is also home to the famous Asaro mudmen from Mando village. It's exciting. I've heard about these guys. They're absolute legends. They're in every brochure and they're a real attraction here in Papua New Guinea. But to be able to come up to their village and see this live is just mind-blowing. So I'm not sure what we're in store for, but it should be pretty good.
My name is Junior Ripo Okoroho.
Did you get that? Junior Ripo Akaraho. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Awesome. So this is your beautiful village?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is your grandfather?
Yep.
What's his name?
Ripo Okoroho.
So you're Junior.
Yep.
So named exactly the same.
Yep.
And is he the man that started the mudmen in your village?
Yep.
Well, the boys are getting ready. They're getting prepared. They're putting on the mud and getting their mouths ready. So we're going to take a look behind the scenes and see what it's all about. Hello, I won't shake your hand, huh? Pleased to meet you. Ah, you get nice and muddy, thank you. This is nice mud, good for the face. Well, I'm gonna go behind the scenes. I'm gonna get a lady to dress me so I can be just like these mudmen. This is really cool. I'm a mud woman. So, Junior, tell me about the amazing history of the mudmen that involves your grandfather.
They were fighting between against our clans and the other clan. So the other clan says that our clan down to the riverside and they started running away, and on their way down there they fall into that mud. They woke up and went to their village and they see that, oh, it's a white mud. So my grandfather got an idea from there and he came back, take all the clays out again. He started making those masks from a bamboo. He carved the bamboo, split them into middle, he carved them and then put some banana calves on top of that. He rubbed all the clay on top. He put their malos on, he put every clay onto their body. And during around 5, 6 o'clock in the early morning, when they were still sleeping, they went and attacked their enemies. And the enemies came out from their sleeping and they went to pee and they came out and they see those white men were coming, pure white. Oh, they thought they were their ghosts, that they were killed already. So they just leave everything and they went away.
Papua New Guinea traditional.
Exactly. She took the words right out of my mouth. They've got these amazing traditions that are carried out and these incredible rituals. As I was being made up, I started to understand the importance of custom dress. And these are from Bird of Paradise?
Yes,
Yeah.
bush.
But I did reserve sadness for the exotic bird species so commonly used for colour. As populations and tourism increases, tribes will have to be careful not to overhunt wildlife species, which can be done so easily. Do I look good? Do you like my PNG fashion? Which feathers do these? Thank you. You're very privileged. It's so nice when these people take you into their culture and show you behind the scenes. You really realise how much is behind everything they do, behind their custom dance, behind their performance. It's not just a stage show, it's about beliefs and it's about ideals and it's also connection to the spirit world. Like this? So just not all over, just a little bit. So more delicate for the women. So here I am with the mudmen of Asaro, and look at these guys. They're decked out, ready to perform, and we're probably going to get the performance of a lifetime. But look at me, I'm in custom dress and I blend in. I'm an Asaro woman. Mud woman? Asaro mud woman. The Mudman dance is performed in silence. As the Mudman legend and reputation grew, they became feared spirit men. The ghostly white appearance scaring the enemy, allowing the Mudmen to conquer more land and grow their tribe in numbers. When they shoot those spears, it's so scary. You can see why other tribes were fearful. As I moved around the masked mudmen and with a spear aimed toward me, I could see why other tribes would run away. It was a surreal experience. Part of the story and tradition of this mudman dance is they dressed up like this to rescue their women from tribes that had stolen their women. You can see why the tribes might have been fearful and thought they were gods. The Mudmen is just one tribe in the Eastern Highlands, which is home to over 200 other cultural Sing Sing groups. My next adventure would take me high into the mountains to a very remote village. Well, we've just arrived at the Kamasi village and we have a roadblock, so we're getting out. This is a beautiful traditional village right up in the highlands, and I mean the highlands. But check this out. I'm not sure whether we're friend or foe at the moment. So they came to have a look at us. Obviously, we aren't too much of a threat, I don't think, but they're keeping a really, really close eye on us. This is how you get greeted in PNG. You never know how it's going to be because they're all so very different. Each village has a totally different way of recepting, a way of welcoming, and also a way of showing you their lifestyle, their culture, and their traditions. Look at the kids. Imagine all those years ago when people used to come up here on the first contact and these guys had bows and arrows and they had spears and coming out to meet you like that. It's very frightening because we're not used to this kind of tribal lifestyle. But other tribes came up, they still greeted each other in this manner as well. This is one of the most special things that you get when you get to these villages. The little pickaninnies all come out and greet you and they just want to say hello. And because I have blonde hair, I sort of stand out in Papua New Guinea. Say hi! We're so high up in the mountain. This is Mount Toddy, yeah? Mount Toddy. This is their local mountain, but look at the view out here. So is this like, are we entering a very spiritual place at the moment? Wow.
This is a stone city.
Stone City. Oh my, oh! Then once we're inside. So the warriors, that was guarding here. He's the one that guards, is he? Whoa.
Our ancestors in tribal fight time, they used this place as their secret hiding place to attack their enemies. So when they fought for, the fight for land. So in that time, they used this place as their secret hiding place. So this very time, we are using this place to keep as our memory for our ancestors.
So this is exactly what they used to do in the olden days. They'd hide in these rocks, and when other tribes came in, they'll be ready to fight for the land.
Kill enemies.
Kill enemies.
Kill enemies. So they use this technique or this bows and arrows to, fight, kill.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of these incredible limestone caves, and right in front of me is a warrior that is literally pointing an arrow directly at me. Now, if this were times when these guys were tribal fighting, at any moment through any of this system, I could have been killed. And I may not have even seen these guys because they blend in perfectly with their surroundings. They're dressed in bush. This guy looks literally part of the rock here. So what's so special about this area?
Yes. This area is, we recognize as a special area for this today's generation because our ancestors live in that place and they migrate in that place. Be careful. Okay.
These are the children. And what are they doing? They're guarding the bones?
They're guarding the bones. That shows that they still have still remembering their ancestors.
Yeah. So this is like respect for the ancestors.
Yes.
Yeah. These guys just look amazing. They've got all the traditional mosses from their surroundings, and as you can see, everything is made out of, what they can get from their own surroundings. And this skull, who belongs to this skull?
Yes, that skull belongs to one of their ancestors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bones.
The bones.
So you keep all the bones as respect?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So I think this is what cultural tourism is all about, being able to keep the traditions alive but create an economy for the local people. But just have a look at what you can come and see. These kids look amazing. But the best thing, this is all authentic. This is all from their culture, and it's all here for us to see. After our close call with warriors, we had worked up an appetite, and a feast was simmering. The traditional moo style, which is basically they dig up the ground and they cover the pig in all sorts of ferns, banana leaves, and then they put mud on top and they steam it. And this is the traditional cooking, both in the highlands and a lot of the coastal areas here in Papua New Guinea. But it smells absolutely delicious. All these vegetables are straight from the garden, and the pig would have only been killed probably just before they put it in the pit. So it just shows these guys have such a healthy lifestyle. They work their gardens, they look after their animals run freely until they need to actually eat or use the animal. And today we get the chance to taste the feast. Thank you, gentlemen. You've done an amazing job. You've been cooking all afternoon?
Yeah.
These moo-moos, are they done in celebration, traditions? When do you have a moo-moo?
For a pig moo,
Yeah.
a special occasion. But cow or sweet potato and greens normally.
Yeah. So you moo-moo all the time, but pigs are special celebration.
Yes.
Yeah. You hungry, Simon? Well, I got a little bit hungry, so they've allowed me to have a taste. I picked a sweet potato, and guess where they got it from? The garden right next to me. So I know that this is good tucker, fresh from the local produce. But the best thing is, this is a sustainable lifestyle, and this is village lifestyle. This is what so many cities have lost, the ability to be able to feed themselves and sustain themselves through their natural environment. And I think that's why Papua New Guinea is just so special, because these people can still live off the land, they know what to do, and they sure know how to cook.
I'm going to share the pig among the people, so whatever belongs to the guest or visitors, we give it to them. And the other one, the other side is already on the lunch table. And these two for the villagers, and these two for the officers.
So it's time to eat. We've been given our piece of pig and our feast is in here, laid out on the table. And I tell you what, after walking all that way, seeing those amazing things and smelling that incredible feast, I'm hungry. Oh, I love moo moo. Tastes so good. Some of the best food I've ever had. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
You guys eat like this every day?
No. Once in a while. Pig is a wealth, and pig is also killed on special celebrations and ceremonies, bride price, compensation.
Papua New Guinea are very sharing like that, aren't they? They love inviting people into their villages and sharing their culture.
That's right. Even though it's not only for like foreigners, but for locals as well. For me, if I have a best friend or if I have someone from the coast, and if I go to their place, they will kill pig or they will do something more just to invite me and say, welcome to our place.
I enjoyed so many people coming together for us in celebration. But I fear, as modern life moves in, just like the wildlife and environment, these unique cultures could be lost in the blink of an eye. I feel like I'm on top of the world, and I literally am, in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. We have had an incredible journey through this amazing land. From the ocean to the beautiful environment that it has, this country is second to none. But most of all, we've enjoyed our time with the people and all the culture and traditions they have to share. But I think we have a lot to learn, because these guys really know how to live in their surroundings.